What's happening, everybody? It's Sean with Reactions to the Classics, and today I got a unique top 10, not their only band top 10. I'll explain in a minute. Brought to you by a friend, longtime supporter, and patron of the channel, Richard. Thank you, Richard. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the patrons who make this thing go. If you'd like to support us anyway, check out that Patreon link below or the patron link on the end screen. We're running a free trial right now. The patrons really do program this channel, and they make it possible to put up a video every single day. All right, well, Richard says it features artists who have had success with more than one band in their careers. So not solo, right? Make sure you distinct that they didn't break off from the band. So band. So a really unique idea, and a lot of our patrons come up with unique ideas for these lists. Richard does for sure. So I really like the ideas behind this. And I knew some of these artists, and some of them I didn't know. But if you haven't been with us before, the music will not be in the video, but it will be at a Vimeo link below. So click on that link and follow along with us. And we'll kick this thing off at number 10 with Yazoo, Only You, from the album Upstairs at Eric's in 1982. It was their debut. And Richard tells me he all these people: Vince Clarke of Depeche Mode and Erasure fame, along with Alison Moyet. Yazoo, known as Yaz in North America, were an English synth pop duo consisting of former Depeche Mode members Vince Clarke on keyboards and Alison Moyet on vocals. The duo formed in late 1981 after Clarke responded to an advertisement Moyet placed in a British music magazine, although they'd known each other casually since their school days. Over the next 18 months, the duo released 2 albums, this one and You and Me Both, which received critical acclaim for their production, particularly the blending of Clarke's synth melodies with Moyet's blues and soul-influenced vocals. Yazoo enjoyed worldwide success, but were particularly popular in their home country, where 3 of their 4 singles reached the top 3 of the UK singles charts, and both their albums made the top 2 of the UK album charts. Yeah, that is success. Despite that success, they split in May 1983 as a result of a combination of Clarke's reluctance to make more records under the Yazoo name, a clash of personalities, and a lack of communication between the pair. Sounds like what breaks up every band or duo, right? Clarke went on, of course, to form Erasure, another successful and longer-lasting synth pop duo, while Moyet embarked on a highly successful solo career. In 2008, 25 years after splitting up, they reconciled and reformed Yazoo to play a successful tour of the UK, Europe, and North America. This song itself was written by Vince while he was still with Depeche Mode, but they rejected it. Little George Harrison Beatles action, right? But recorded in 1982 after he formed Yazoo. Debut single, 2 in UK, 67 in the US. It was the second single in the US. Sometimes they're not released in the same order where I live in the US. The song was ranked at number 7 among the top 10 tracks of the year for 1982 by NME. And in 2012, they ranked it at number 8 on their list of the greatest pop songs in history. Okay. It's used a lot in movies and TV shows, so I wonder if I'm going to know a part of this, man. But I'm going to have the lyrics up as always. Thanks again, Richard. Okay, Only You. I didn't know this song yet. It felt familiar, if that makes sense, right? I just had that sound. It's a fantastic song, man. I love that. I'm going to have to go listen to this album, or both these albums, right? But I just love that. I think the dichotomy, yes, between her voice and the synths is fantastic. The song's just about, long-distance relationships. You only need him, but, I mean, just the way Vince puts those synths in there and Allison's voice, it was just really good. And it did feel like an 80s movie to me. And maybe that's why I loved it. I don't know. All right, next up at number 9, we're actually going to watch a video. We got NPB, Feeding Frenzy. It's an Irish band that featured 2 members of another Irish band, El Diablo. National Prayer Breakfast, or NPB, I see why they went by that, was an alternative garage rock band in Dublin. The lineup included Patrick Franey on vocals and guitars, Paul Clancy on drums, Dara Keogh and Paul O'Connelly. Yeah, I'm going to mess those up, right? Their sound was described as garage country rock. All right, we're going to watch this video. Let's do it. All right, NPB, Feeding Frenzy. Great guitar melody on that. Nice story. And, you knew this was a little older video when you saw it at the beginning. We got a phone booth, and I saw some newspaper machines in the back. 2 things I haven't seen in a decade here in the United States, at least. But just really well done. And, the song is kind of sticks in your head. Pirate Station, Feeding Frenzy. The other guy coming in. They got the gifts there at the end of the video. They got the gifts to the party. That's all that matters, right? So good choice there at number 9. All right, next up at number 8, we got Electronic from the song Getting Away With It from their self-titled album in 1991. It's Bernard Sumner and Johnny Marr, so high praise here. Electronic were an English alternative dance group formed by singer-guitarist Bernard Sumner of New Order and guitarist Johnny Marr of the Smiths. They co-wrote the majority of their output between 1989 and 1998, collaborating with Neil Tennant, more on that in a minute, and Chris Lowe of Pet Shop Boys on 3 tracks in their early years, and former Kraftwerk member Carl Bartos on 9 songs in 1995. This song was the lead single. We did have Neil Tennant of Pet Shop Boys guesting vocal on this. So musically, Bernard Sumner wrote the verse and Johnny Marr wrote the chorus. The lyrics, co-written by Tennant with Sumner, are a parody of Marsh Smith's partner Morrissey, whose public stereotyping as morose. Pet Shop would further satire this trend on their 1990 song Miserableism. Morrissey, for his part, criticized the song in a 1991 interview, calling it totally useless and joking that the song had a very apt title. In 2021, with Music Radar, interview with Music Radar, Marr revealed that Chris Lowe also worked on the track, citing the bass line as his work. ABC and the drummer, David Palmer, programmed the track's drums, 12 in the UK, 38 in the US, their best-selling single. I was able to see Johnny Marr a couple years ago in concert. He opened up for the Killers and was fantastic. And I like me some New Order, so I didn't even know this group existed. So it ought to be good. All right, Getting Away with It, just another excellent song. Heard a lot of New Order on that, but I mean, just a really, really well done song. Must be the song title, Getting Away with It, because I'm pretty sure it's Richard, one of our patrons. I almost want to just guessing it was Richard, but it could have been somebody else. A song by the group James called Getting Away with It, all messed up in parentheses. That's on my current faves list. When I hear songs I like through the channel, I put them on a current faves list, and that's still on my current faves list. I listen to that song all the time. I just added this one to it as well, but great sound, man. All right, at number 7, we got Hurricane One. Listen to the song Only the Strongest Will Survive off the album of the same name from 1999. Andy Bell of Oasis and Ride fame. Hurricane One are an English rock band formed in Oxford in 1996. They were formed by former Ride guitarist Andy Bell, along with vocalist guitarist Alex Lowe, bassist Will Pepper, and drummer Gaz Farmer. After releasing 2 albums, Hurricane One in 97 and then this one, the band broke up. Bell went on to join Gay Dad and then eventually Oasis. While Lowe ventured into a solo career fronted by Lowe, the band reformed in 2014, released their 3rd album, Find What You Love and Let It Kill You, in November of 2015. And Hurricane One did feature in a song battle train I did last year, and also I think they were also in another top 10 maybe that I did, probably for Slade Said, maybe not, I don't know, but I do know of the band. All right, Only the Strongest Will Survive. Gaz's percussion on there is fantastic. His drumming, that kind of drives a song, but Alex Lowe, very, very good lead singer, and that song just sticks in my head. Very entertaining video, but no pun intended, but that was a strong entry, right? I had to do it. It was. Next up at number 6, we got Presence in Wonder from their Inside album in 1992. Will Turhurst's band after leaving The Cure. Presence was a British rock band started by Gary Biddles, Will Turhurst, and Michael Dempsey. Dempsey and Turhurst were founding members of The Cure, and Biddles was a former Cure roadie who previously played in Fool's Dance with Simon Gallup. In their brief existence, they only recorded 2 albums. Their debut album, which was this one, was released in the UK in 92 and in the US in 93. They initially began recording their 2nd album, Closer, that same year with former The Smiths producer John Porter at the helm, but it wound up being shelved for a little over 2 decades. The album was posthumously released in April of 2014, a year after the death of Gary Biddles. In Wonder by Presence. Good sound to that, like what I expected. I think it's about maybe he's broke up with a girl, but then he sees her everywhere, but not totally sure, but a really good vibe to that one. Now we get to our top 5. All right, at number 5, we got Boxcar Racer. There is from the album Boxcar Racer in 2002. Their only album, Tom DeLonge and Travis Barker from Blink-182. I did not know that Boxcar Racer existed. I'm a big fan of Angels and Airwaves, which Tom went and did. I think got 6 or 7 albums once he left Blink, but I didn't know this group existed. But anyway, it was an American punk band formed in San Diego in 2001. As I already said, consists of guitarist and vocalist Tom DeLonge and drummer Travis Barker, both of Blink, along with guitarist David Kennedy of Hazen Street. Anthony Celestino later joined the band as a bassist. DeLonge created the project to pursue darker ideas he felt unsuited to his work with Blink-182. This song is the 2nd final single from the album. Tom still occasionally plays a solo version of this song in concert with, I already mentioned him, Angels and Airwaves. It peaked at number 32 on the Billboard's Modern Rock Tracks chart. I like me some Blink back when in 182 back in the day, and my daughter Mackenzie's 17, and she's going to watch him in concert in July. So like things go full circle, right? There is Boxcar Racer. That was fantastic. I mean, it's cheating because I know they're on here, but that guitar melody sounds just like Tom, and those drums, especially, is Travis's style. Like it feels like a Blink tune to me, right? The lyrics are darker, and I was trying to figure out this album. It's somewhat of a concept album, a little bit, but I was reading that this is part of what broke up Blink-182, because obviously Mark Hoppus, the only guy not on here, and he felt betrayed by this and hurt, and that's why 3 years later they ended up breaking up. But at this time, Tom was addicted to Vicodin because he's having all this severe back pain and all this stuff was going on. So kind of brought out these darker lyrics in him. But I mean, this song itself, he's writing to a girl who he loves, but she might not know it, right? She's a friend, I think, but he kind of, throughout this, you kind of get that idea. He uses a little bit of his own story in here, I think, knowing that he was out with the back. This vacation's useless. These white pills aren't kind. He ends up addicted to Vicodin later on. So that's probably what it's about. This was really good. I'm going to go listen to this album. All right, next up, we have a band that, yes, I have heard of. Foo Fighters, Walking After You. We're going to listen to the single mix. I'll tell you why in a minute. It's from the album originally, The Color and the Shape in 1997. Obviously, Dave Grohl. In 1998, a re-recorded version appeared on the X-Files, the album, the soundtrack to the original X-Files movie. It's released as a single, and that's what we'll listen to here today. It's played during the end credit sequence, 20 in the UK, 12 on the US alternative airplay. The soundtrack single version, this one, was performed by the full band, including then recent additions, the late great Taylor Hawkins and Franz Stahl, with guest backing vocals from Shudder to thanks Craig Wedren. It was recorded in early 1998 at Ocean Way Studio in Hollywood. It's produced by Talking Heads member Jerry Harrison. As a result of trying to muster as much emotion as possible, Grohl broke down during the recording of the vocal take, which ended up being used in the final mix. This version also utilizes the addition of a piano part during the bridge, performed by Harrison. Stylistically, it employs more intricate drumming and guitar work than the original, which is much more sparse, and runs about a minute shorter. All right, let's do it. All right, Foo Fighters, Walking After You, the single version from the X-Files soundtrack. Really liked that one. I mean, Dave's voice sounded great there, and the production was immaculate, right? Just everything was spot on, and basically, he can't let her go if she doesn't love him. He doesn't know what else he could do. He adore her. First, he says, he didn't come out and say it, but I want you to be happy. But then he's like, no, I can't be happy without you. If you walk out on me, I'm walking after you. So really well done. And I mean, I really like the Foo Fighters. I don't love them, but I really like them and have great respect for Grohl. And the fact that these guys basically carried the banner for rock bands for a little while, popular rock bands. I know other ones were around, but really carried that mantle for about a decade there in the early 2000s. So great choice. Next up at number 3, we have Seahorses. You Can Talk to Me, a single in 1997. They were an English alternative rock band formed in 1996 by guitarist John Squire, following his departure from, of course, the Stone Roses, who are fantastic. The band released their debut album, Do It Yourself, in 1997. I actually did a full album reaction to this for one of our other patrons, Ian, a little while back, and began work on a follow-up before splitting up due to musical differences during recording sessions in January of 1999. Commenting on the band in 2002, Squire stated that, quote, he had rushed into that one. The Seahorses is more a rash reaction to leaving the Roses than a considered option, and that I don't think I'm the kind of artist who can cope in a proper band democracy. I require too much control. I hate having my ideas refracted through someone else. I've tried in the past to be accommodating and make the band a complete outfit, but only to have it thrown back in my face. I'm loath to ever do that again. The name the Seahorses is said to be chosen as an anagram of He Hates Roses, a direct reference to Squire's previous band. All right. You Can Talk to Me. I mean, excellent, right? The vocals on it were fantastic. The guitar work, as you would expect, the production is great stuff. I find it ironic, all that stuff I read you in the beginning, because John Squire is coming out with an album with Liam Gallagher. They've got the new single out and the new video. I might actually do a reaction to that. I kind of forgot about it. But saying all that, and then he does an album with Liam, who, of course, Liam in his normal, really, modest way said it's the best album since Revolver, which I think Revolver is the greatest album of all time. So besides that, Liam's still humble. All right, number 2, we have Fun Boy 3, Our Lips Are Sealed. It's Terry Hall, Neville Staple, and Linville Golding from the Specials. Fun Boy 3 were an English new wave pop band active from 1981 to 1983 and formed by the guys I just said after they left the Specials. They released 2 albums and had 7 UK top 20 hits, including this one that hit the top 10. This song was from the Go-Go's, and I remember seeing this song first time I ever saw it on MTV by the Go-Go's. All-girl band playing all the instruments. I, as a youngster, had never seen that before, so I did not know there was another version of this. I'll be curious. All right, Our Lips Are Sealed. This is one of those weird songs where I know it so well, and the Go-Go's is faster and bouncier, so it's hard for me to get into it just because I know it so well. But the story behind this is the Go-Go's actually supported the Specials on the Specials' 1980 Seaside Tour of England. And according to Jane Weedland, who was a member of the Go-Go's, co-wrote this song with Terry Hall, they had a brief affair. And after she returned to the U.S., Hall mailed her some lyrics, and that's how they co-wrote this song. So very interesting stuff. I did not know that. All right, drum roll. We're at number 1, Stone Sour, song Bother from the Stone Sour album in 2002. Of course, Corey Taylor from Slipknot is his other band, and I have a solo reaction up to a song he did that was fantastic. Stone Sour is an American rock band formed in Des Moines, Iowa in 1992. They performed for 5 years before disbanding in 97. They got back together in 2000. They've been on an indefinite hiatus since 2020. They've released 6 studio albums. This is the second single from their debut self-titled album. It was originally released as a solo song by frontman Corey Taylor, but the billing was later changed to Stone Sour. It was one of their first songs to put them into the mainstream. It was featured on the soundtrack film to Spider-Man, though that was credited to Corey and not to Stone Sour. He has stated the song is about when he moved back to Des Moines from Denver, where he hoped to try to move forward with his music. I've spent time in both places. That'd be a considerably difficult move to move from Denver to Des Moines. All right, Bother, Stone Sour. Really, Corey Taylor, just a fantastic vocal performance, the emotion in it. Corey's a great vocalist. If you listen to the hardcore Slipknot stuff, you don't realize that until you listen to something dialed back like this, but a great choice for number 1 on Richard's Not Their Only Band Top 10. Just a great list, which will take me to my favorite tracks. This is weird, right? Because I always say it's not about songs, it's about the artist. And obviously, Richard knows these artists. I know one song from most of these artists. I mean, obviously, I know some Foo Fighters and a little bit from a few of these others, but I'm just going by song, basically. So my honorable mentions, I'm going to go with Hurricane 1, Only the Strongest Will Survive, Foo Fighters, Walking After You, and Seahorses, You Can Talk to Me. Faves are going to be the song we just heard, Stone Sour with Bother. Boxcar Racer, There Is, the Blink-182 spinoff. Electronic, Getting Away with It. And Yazoo, Only You, the first track we heard on here, the number 10, not their only band on the list, but fantastic stuff. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 7 of them, man. I'm trying to narrow it down more. Like, it doesn't really make them honorable mentions or faves if they're all 10, but I try to knock it down a bit. But I only get to 7 here. So fantastic list. Let me know what you think of this list down below. Who are your favorite artists that are, not in only one band, but in more than one? And what you think of this list and your favorite songs or artists off this list? Need your feedback down below. And also, if you haven't already, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, we got over 2,600 vids at the time of this filming. All right. Appreciate Richard. Appreciate you guys for watching. Until next time, I will see you.